Slight problem on Beogram. Speed issues. Oh, rubbish weather today, so I thought I'd fix my Beogram 8000. It's about ready. Listen carefully. It's making like a ticking sound. Let's have a look what it is. Platter just lifts off, but it takes 2 hands to do. Again, this is one of those things that takes 2 hands, I think. Pops that and the sub-platter out of the way, and I can see that my tacho disc is kaput. I'm amazed it kind of worked at all, really. So I've ordered one of these from Martin on B&O World, and this is basically the type that goes in the slightly later ones of these, the 8002s, I think, and should fix my problem. Martin gives you loads of really detailed instructions, and this is a close-up of the disc, just sat on the top. The platter and the sub-platter, you see the little notches there that just locate it in place for when you put it back on. Basically, we're getting this thing into the service position. This thing just lifts off because the tape has gone. Sticky tape has gone on there, so just lift it off. Yours might still be stuck onto it, but I wouldn't guarantee that it'll stay stuck. If it is, I'll have to pull off the stylus. Remove that, you just grip that firmly and lift this plate out. Just twist horizontal and that pops up. And you can kind of just stick something underneath, like a piece of wood or something, and lift it out, or a butter knife. The thing you've really got to be careful with when putting these in service position is the dust cover. Very brittle plastic at the back of there. Okay, so remove these springs. I just use like a hook to pull them off. But again, it's a two-handed kind of operation to do this. Push down with your finger, hook it underneath, and just lift, and it will come undone. So pushing it down is the easiest way, and then you can ping it off. But it's one of those things that just takes 2 hands to do, unfortunately. So they're undone. There's a couple of screws at the side to put it into service position. They need to be unscrewed. And then you can slide this over. So if you slide the underneath part, which floats, over to the right, so it clears the tone arm assembly. I tape down the lid to stop it flying open, because I know they can fly open and break. And I use some table mats to hold it in a vertical position. To move the tacho sensor, you unscrew this clamp and it will just swing around. You don't have to take it all the way out, just loosen it. That gets that out of the way, so you can remove this part, whatever you want to call it, the spindle, something like that. Okay, to get the tacho disc off, you've got to pry these little tabs up and just work your way around slowly. It takes a little while, it took me a few moments to do, but eventually you can pry them all off and get them into separate pieces. At this point, I always feel like I'm at the middle, so I can start reassembly. It's always a good place to be. And the discs are identical, which I was pleased to see. I knew they would be from Martin. Okay, so reassembly, put the ring back on, and you just kind of have to press it in, press it around, and to reassemble it and reclamp it. You might find that you may have lifted some too far, so maybe tap them back down with the something like a screwdriver or something. Mine were fine, but anyway, I just pushed it back on. You just kind of go work it around. Be very careful with the metal around the tacho disc. It's fragile and easily bent. It's quite thin. It has to be, because it's done to a tight tolerance. Just want to make it so it's perfect all the way around and firmly clamped. Then you can start reassembly. Put it back in. You can feel how frictionless the system is, and start putting stuff back. So reclamp that and screw it back down so it's in the right place. such a good method of way of doing this kind of thing that they've developed here at Bang & Olufsen back in the 80s. Really very nice sort of gears or a belt, a linear drive motor. It's very clever. So just reclamp that. Just a simple screw, don't need to be super tight, just so it doesn't move around. And at this point, it's time to take it back out of service position. So we are going to be very careful again to watch we don't clip that. So when we put it back down, don't clip it. It will be a tight fit, so it's something to bear in mind. Just be very careful. Same when lifting it up, it's a very tight fit. You may find when you're putting the thing back out of service position, you may need to move it around so it doesn't clip onto those. Also, don't forget to put that plastic piece on like I did. So I had to do that all over again. Anyway, put the springs back on. Again, it's a similar kind of thing. Use a hook and just pull it up. Fit this piece and make sure that it clamps down properly. So you'll just make sure you're turning it the right way to clamp underneath. There's a little, at the back, you'll see there's a location point that you need to put it into. See how that just slides through there and locates? And twist it so that the tab sits underneath the front part of there when you twist it back. You'll see when you look underneath. Once you twist it back, if it feels flush and like it's not moving, then you've done it correctly. I didn't do it correctly the first time. That's how I learned that lesson. Okay, replace the subplatter. Nearly at the end of the road now. And use the locating tabs to make sure you've got it in the right place. Again, it's very fiddly to do one-handed. And I managed to put it back together. There we go. So it's flush. There's the old tacho disc. Put the platter back on carefully. That just sits on the top. There's my spare stylus. Just put the flat back down so I can put the thing back together and test it out, see if this works. Hopefully it will. There we go. Lid back on. The tape has gone on that, so obviously it would have originally served as a way of putting the item in service position and holding it up, but since that's not there anymore, then that's why I've used the table mats. Don't forget the 2 screws from underneath. So only a very short snippet of sound, but it does work. I don't have the flashing light on the end of the sensor arm anymore, and I don't have the odd speed problem that I had at the beginning. This is my old tacho disc, and you can see that actually I managed to stick it back down again with my finger, but no doubt it would have peeled back again anyway within when the central heating comes back on or something. So good thing to swap, and now it's future-proofed, and hopefully that metal part will be fine forever, really, for as long as the system exists. Once again, they're available from Martin on B&O World. His name is Dylan, I believe, on B&O World, and he's got like an icon of a fish. He runs the site. Can't miss him. Great bit of kit and loads of good advice from him. So I hope this video has been useful for anyone who's putting one of these Beograms into service position, maybe to change the caps or to change the tacho disc. Quite a common fault on the earlier ones with the plastic disc. So I hope that's been useful, and if it has, I'd appreciate a like, and if you want to subscribe, I'll be doing some more Bang & Olufsen videos sometime shortly in the future. Next time one of my pieces of equipment breaks, most likely. Great. Thanks, see you later, bye.